Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 45 of Matt Chat. We're getting started a little late here tonight. I've been scrambling here a little bit tonight, trying to get everything ready and get everything together to be with you tonight. And I'm so glad to be with you for episode 45 here of Matt Chat. I'm just going to invite a few friends on, and you'll notice the topic tonight. We are going to be discussing the clarity to overcome versus wishing a problem away. And there's a distinct difference, friends. We're going to get into that. And we're going to start with a quote. A really cool quote that came across my desk this morning that a friend of mine posted on Facebook actually today. And, I thought it was really profound. I'm still just fighting a few friends on here. I thought the quote was really profound. It really spoke to me, really in a deep way. And, when I come on to Matt Chat, I try and really talk about topics that have touched me throughout the week. And I really feel that it's going to be a benefit to everyone to open up about, what I struggle with every day and what I go through every day and how I learn and how I move through things every day, because I know we're all experiencing the same things. Derek Lobo is watching. Thanks for watching. I hope you're well tonight. Please do give me a shout out. Give me some loves. Give me some hearts. Give me some likes. Let me know that you're here. Peter Yates is here. Thanks for joining us tonight. I hope everyone is well tonight. Please do put hashtag live. If you're watching live, put hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. And I'm going to start with this quote. And I don't normally read stuff when we're on Matt Chat, but it really spoke to me today. So I'm going to start with this quote. It said, "When you are doubtful, overwhelmed, or stressed, take a moment to pause before you press on. Use this time to pay attention to the limiting beliefs keeping you in a pattern of being stuck. Find your solutions by understanding it is the blockage in your mindset that is preventing you from progressing. Work on receiving clarity and the wisdom to overcome, not for the problem to disappear. You've got this." And it was written by, it was through a program called Commanding Life, but it was actually posted by a friend of mine, Jonathan Massalinas. Thank you for posting that today, and it really spoke to me. Raymond is here. He says, "Hi, Melissa." Hello, my friend. Derek says, "I am here." Hello. Hello, my friends. All right, so we are talking about wishing for the clarity and the wisdom to overcome a problem rather than wishing the problem to disappear. And the reason why that spoke to me this week in particular, this morning when I saw it, and this week in particular, is because I've been struggling with something over the last few weeks. And we touched on it a little bit last week. We talked about control and why we have control, and that there are really fears behind control. And we talked about facing those fears and figuring out what those fears are and taking, little baby steps to move through those fears and move through those issues of control. And over the last couple of weeks, I've been dealing with some things that, I think I probably shoved some of these things down. And we've talked too about shoving things down, and then like a jack in the box, when we shove them down and we don't deal with them and we keep shoving them down, all of a sudden, like a jack in a box, they explode. And I think we're all guilty of that sometimes. It doesn't matter whether we're the best mindset coach on the planet. It doesn't matter whether we're the best clarity coach on the planet. We're all guilty of doing that sometimes, because sometimes things are hard to face, and sometimes we don't realize that we need to face them. We don't realize that there's a lesson in it that we need to be learning. So I've been struggling with a little bit of that clarity, really that lack of clarity, for a few weeks. And really, it was a control issue. It was a control. I was passing some judgment, and it came by way of control and needing control and trying to have that control. And, it's funny, I was doing my check-in with my kids yesterday. We do a check-in every day at 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. We check in with our emotions, and we take 3 deep breaths. We take very slow, deep breaths. And all 3 of us, we sit, and it doesn't matter where we are. Yesterday we happened to be driving when my son said that we hadn't checked in with our emotions. We relate with it. And, I love that they're in that practice. And we check in with those emotions, and we've decided decided long ago what emotions we want to feel. And I know that my emotions, my children want to feel happiness and they want to feel excited. And, my daughter added in time freedom because that's one of my emotions. So my emotions are always happiness, health, and time freedom. And those are the three emotions that I want to feel every day. And so we were checking with our emotions, and I was feeling health and I was feeling time freedom, but I wasn't feeling happiness at that moment. Remen says, "Wow, yeah, checking emotions, yeah." And so my kids are 9 and 12, and they sit with me twice a day, and we check in with our emotions. And so I wasn't feeling happy, and I used that as a teachable moment with my kids. I always do. I use that as a teachable moment. And Roman says a big step in self-awareness. It is. And I think it's really important to teach that to our kids. So I used that moment to describe to my kids why I wasn't feeling happy. And I love that my 9-year-old, she was in the back seat and she said, "Well, you know what you need to do, Mommy? You're driving right now, so you can't close your eyes right now, Mommy. But after you drop us off and you get home, you need to sit and close your eyes, Mommy. And you need to think of a time that you were really happy. And you need to, what's that word? What's that word? What do you need to do with those emotions?" And I said, "You mean I need to feel into those emotions?" And she said, "Yes, that's what you need to do, Mommy. You need to feel into those emotions from when you felt happy before." And so I get a kick that my 9-year-old knows that, and she coaches me along the way too. Tammy is here. I hope you're well tonight, Tammy. Thanks for joining us. Derek says self-control is all about controlling one's emotions. Absolutely it is. Emotional self-mastery is really, really important for all of us. It allows us to keep healthy relationships. And so we were having this check-in, but I used it as a teachable moment, and I wasn't feeling happiness. And the reason why I wasn't feeling happiness was because I had judged somebody. I had judged somebody in my life that I love very dearly. Tamsin is with us. Thank you for joining us. And I knew that I had been judgmental, but I didn't know how to fix it. My heart was sad because I had been judgmental, and I forgave myself for that judgment. I forgave myself for being judgmental, but I didn't know how to fix it. I didn't know how to move forward and not be judgmental. And so that's why I wasn't feeling that happiness. And I spoke to my kids about that. And, my son, he's funny. He said, "Can I know who the person is?" And I said, "Well, it doesn't really matter who the person is. The important thing is that my heart is hurting and I don't have happiness right now because I'm trying to figure out how to fix that judgment and how to stop that judgment and that control that comes with that judgment." And we had a good conversation around that. And so, that's what I've been dealing with for a couple of weeks. And so when I read that quote this morning, it really spoke to me because I had been, wishing that away, wishing that judgment in myself away for a couple of weeks now. And it wasn't the right place to be. It wasn't the place to be in order to help me move past it. The place to be was to wish for the clarity and the wisdom to move through the blockage, the mindset blockage that was creating that judgment, that was creating the problem, right? So that was the right place to be in. And so it was really great to read that quote this morning. It was really great to have that awareness. And Hamet is watching. Welcome, my friend. It was really great to have that awareness today because that awareness allowed me to move through it. Now, I'll be honest with you, friends. We talked last week, a couple weeks ago, about our first thoughts and whether or not we follow through with our first thoughts and whether or not we, crash down and what our next thoughts are and how we move forward. And it's important how we move forward. My thoughts on this yesterday, it was to sit down and cry. I was pretty upset about it. And Ramin is replying, "Yes, right. It's all about EQ." He's replying to another comment up top. My initial thought was to sit down and cry about it because I was pretty upset about it. I didn't do that. I didn't initially do that. I went and spoke with a friend. I had a coffee with a friend. You know who you are out there, my friend. I had a coffee with a wonderful friend of mine. Welcome, Michael Brooks. Thanks for watching. And so I didn't follow through with that, but it still really got to me. And Remin says emotional intelligence. Yes, thank you. So, I continued on with that, and I saw that quote today, and that quote really spoke to me today. So you know what I did? I allowed myself to give in to that initial thought today. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about not allowing ourselves to give in to that initial thought because I didn't like the outcome that was going to happen if I just went to my bed and cried and didn't do anything about it, right? This time today, I knew I needed to work through it. I knew there was something I needed to work through. So today, I allowed myself to go to my bed and cry. Do you know how long I did it? I did it for 3 hours. I laid there for 3 hours. I thought it through. I allowed the tears to come. But I didn't ask for the problem to go away. I asked for the clarity and the wisdom to change the mindset, to deal with the mindset that was creating the blockage, which was creating that problem. So I allowed those tears to come. And I did it for a good 3 hours. I allowed that to happen. I allowed that to flow through me. And what's different about me today than, say, 9 years ago is that 9 years ago, I would have stayed in that place, would have stayed in that place for days upon days upon days. And I wouldn't have had support around me that would have helped move me out of that place, would have snapped me out of that. And I wouldn't have had the strength that I have today to help myself move out of that. So I did that for 3 hours today, and then I started getting messages from friends. I got a message from my friend Rachel asking me about a call that we are on tonight. I'm taking a break from the call right now, asking me if I was going to be on it, checking in with me. I got a message from my mom asking me if she could drop by with some stuff. And I have those support systems in place today. So those helped me, but I also have the strength today, knowing that this was a temporary thing, was a temporary thing to allow me to cry. So what I did is I got up and I got in the shower, and anyone who knows me well knows that I do my best thinking in the shower. I actually get lots of ideas. I find clarity. It's a quiet place for me. I'm a single mama with 2 kids, so I don't find very many quiet places. So I got into the shower, and Tamsin says she can relate so much to this. Thank you for sharing. Oh, thank you, Tamsin. That's so sweet, and I'm glad that it's speaking to you tonight. So I got into the shower and I let the water fall over me, and as the water was falling over me, the clarity came. So I let the tears out for 3 hours this afternoon, and as the water fell on top of me, fell over my head, the clarity came. And I let the tears flow for a long time, a good, half an hour, 40 minutes. I let the tears flow. But as the water flowed with the tears, there was clarity and there was cleansing. Derek says, absolutely, mindset is very important to achieve anything. It is, my friend. And this is why we talk about mindset every week here on Matt Chat. So I let the tears flow while the water was cleansing them away, and cleansing away everything, all of the mindset, everything that was causing the blockage that created the judgment. It was probably one of the most healing things I've done in a long time, outside of my journaling and outside of the other work that I've done. It was one of the most healing things. And all it took was a reminder this morning to ask for the clarity and wisdom that I needed to clear that mindset blockage rather than asking for the problem to go away. Because really, for a couple of weeks, I struggled with that. I really wanted that judgment to go away. I didn't know how to get rid of that judgment. I didn't know how to stop myself from doing that. And really what I needed was the clarity around the problem, the clarity to know what was really deep down, what was happening deep down inside, and the wisdom to be able to flush it, to allow the water to clear it away and cleanse it away, and to move the blockage in my mind. Because once I move that blockage, it's not about the problem anymore. There is no problem anymore because I've moved that blockage and I know how to move forward with it now. I might not have it completely healed, but I know how to move forward with it now. So I invite you all to really listen to this. Go back to the beginning of this episode. Go back and listen to the poem or the little reading that I read at the beginning, and really think about over the next week what problems in your life or what things come up for you in your life that you're wishing away, that you're wishing the problem wouldn't be there, or you're wishing you could change yourself, or you're wishing you could change something in others. And really feel into that problem, feel into what it is, And instead of asking for the problem to go away, ask for the clarity and the wisdom to change the mindset that created the problem, the blockage, the mindset blockage that's there, and figure out what blockage created that problem. Ramin says, I like the fact that you can focus on a subject every week. Oh, thank you so much. And he's giving us a YouTube link. Thank you, Ramin. I will check out that YouTube link, and I do invite you to go to my YouTube channels as well. Rise to Wellness, the number 2 Wellness. Matt Chat is on my YouTube channel every week, and Breathe with Me Yoga, Storytime Yoga for Children and Families, is on the Breathe with Me Yoga channel every week as well. Oh, Remen says this channel is in line with these subjects. Oh, wonderful. I'll check it out. The School of Life. I'll check it out. I've never checked that out before, but thank you very much. But yes, we do try to deal with a different topic every week here on Matt Chat. So I invite you all this week, over the next week, before our next video, to really feel into what problems you're facing right now and what you're trying to change in yourself or someone else right now. And instead of wishing that problem away, wish for the clarity and the wisdom to change the mindset that created the problem. All right, friends, I am going to bid you farewell. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 45 of Matt Chat. Have a wonderful evening, my friends. Take care.